Next would be, what are we going to do in the next 90 days? It's like action plan. Here's what we would propose we do in the next 90 days. Now, this is where I want you to understand what a one-page plan is. We've got real financial advisors out there charging money for just the one-page plan now. Right? Like, I'm telling you, it's incredibly valuable by itself, but it's most importantly good as a template to keep working with, to keep the clients focused, right? To keep reminding them of what they said. So just do less with it. In other words, like, do reality with it. The next piece is, what are we going to do the next 90 days? You mentioned, I'm going to use life insurance as an example just because it's easy. You mentioned to us, now with the birth of your second child, that not having enough life insurance is keeping you up at night. Right? So that would have been one of the goals. And it may have been the number one goal. It's keeping you up at night. We want to get the appropriate amount of life insurance in place. Goal number one. That would show up as action step. Right? We're going to get the appropriate amount of life. In the next 90 days, we want to make sure we get the appropriate amount of life insurance in place. Right? Goal number two. You got this smorgasbord of investments. You mentioned to us that making sure the kids get educated is really important. Obviously, the assets that the portfolio that you've built, or the sort of, I'd be tempted not to call it a portfolio because most of the time clients don't have portfolios, right? They've got a smorgasbord, a collection of investments. I'd say, look, first thing, in the first 90 days, we want to look at how all these assets are invested and make sure they're invested based on those goals that you've just outlined, that we've just outlined. Right? That would involve moving them to here. And before we do that, obviously, we'll look at the tax implications and the costs associated, and we'll come up with a detailed plan, a detailed implementation plan before we do anything. But that's in the first 90 days, we hope to have insurance done and get all of the money allocated and invested in the simplest way possible that will give you the greatest likelihood of reaching those goals. That's what a portfolio is. The only reason your money should be invested, the only correct way to invest your money is to give you the greatest likelihood of meeting your goals, right? So in the first 90 days, we want to get the insurance done and we want to get all the money invested based on the goals we've identified. That's what we're going to do in the first 90 days. And then you may even have, 2 more. Like if we have time and we're able to get there, we'll also, you mentioned to us that estate planning hasn't been done. Or, you said that your goals were to make sure that you get the kids educated, and there aren't college accounts set up, so we'll get college accounts set up. We'll set up a direct funding mechanism from the bank. Those are the goals we have for the first 90 days.